Schumacher can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at him.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom.
Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
No back into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh,
and to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, Apex This race fans. It's Sunday night. That means we're doing some more fixed Ferrari 296 challenge car racing. This week we head to the world famous Spa-Francorchamps, nestled in the lush Ardennes forest of Belgium. This track is 4.352 miles, 7 kilometers, just a hair over 7 kilometers, 7.004 kilometers, features 19 turns and 100 meters of elevation change between its highest and lowest points. It's going to be a challenge out there this evening for our drivers as there's a little bit of moisture on the track. We had some rain pass through the area about an hour ago, just the beginning of practice. Track's starting to clear up. Heard a little bit of talk about maybe potentially some of our drivers going to the slick tire versus the rain tires, but a couple of the most famous corners here are Eau Rouge and Radion. This is the most iconic uphill sequence at the start of the lap, most thrilling feature, and some of the most feared corners in racing, demanding absolute precision at over 300 kilometers an hour if you're in some high-powered open wheel machinery, much like the Formula One cars that come here every year for the Formula One Belgian Grand Prix. As I mentioned, a little bit of rain out here, which plays into the weather roulette that is Spa. It's got its own microclimate being in the forest and the elevation. So rain can happen on one part of the track and stay dry on the rest of the track. As I mentioned, we saw rain earlier on. I believe the forecast isn't calling for it anymore. We'll have to wait and see if that holds true. So whether you're a diehard fan or a newcomer, something for Spa offers something for almost every racer that could possibly enjoy racing out there. But qualifying just getting underway. Our drivers heading to the track. They've got a fair bit of a lengthy outlap here. It's going to be well over a 2-minute lap time, somewhere in around 2:15 to 2:18. I guess depending on the track condition. If it's still moist, it might be somewhere up near 2.5 minutes lap time. So while our drivers are getting out on their outlaps, come around to start their first flying laps, we do have championships going on here. Let's take a look at the championship standings for our mid-pack Larrys, also known as our AM drivers. Chris Diaz leading the way 3 weeks into this one, up top with 56 points. is Aaron Sunday, 4 points behind him in second place. Oz Xulu currently occupying the final step on the podium in the championship with 36 points. Kent Kruger, Sean Giroux tied for fourth place at 32 points. Then we go a little ways back to find Tony Phillips, Tim Pavelka, Rob Fallon, Jesse Meager, and Uwe Hale. Over on our pro side of things, let's take a look at how things are shaping up over there with Justin Atchison currently leading the way over 2 points ahead of Sean Teeter in second place. Teeter another 2 points ahead of Zinn. So top three separated by 4 points right now. Joseph Marr another 2 points back is in fourth place. Then we go 6 points back to Mark Miller in fifth. Corey Mitchell currently occupying sixth place, just 1 point up on Kelly Greeno. And then we get back a little bit for Tom Gorman, Brian Lepke, Raul Alves, Austin Diltz, Stan Hammonds, John Cooper, Spencer Bodway, and then Roma Bykoff going to round out our drivers who have earned a point at this point in time. So that wraps up a look at our championship standings. Let's take a look at the schedule. Road course, so a lot of interesting tracks still to come for our drivers. We'll see how they fare as the race goes on, but we've got drivers out on track here currently on board here with Oz Xulu. Xulu currently trying to put in a hot lap. He's still finishing up that first lap. As I mentioned, a long lap time around here with these current race conditions. So looks like Xulu coming out of the final corner. We'll see if he's put in a time as he goes across the line. Looks like Kelly Greeno going to be the first one on a board with a 2:25.9. That's quickly going to get bumped down. As Tony Phillips going to come across and take away top spot, 2:24.7. So that tells you what kind of condition the track is out there. A little bit moist still, as their drivers a little on the slower side. As I mentioned, a dry, perfect condition track. They'd run somewhere around 2:15, 2:16 with this car. And they're running about 10 seconds slower. So still a little bit of moisture out there on the track. The driver's having to take a little bit of care. You can see a little bit of mist coming up off the back of Oz Xulu's car there. It kind of gives you an idea of what the conditions are. As we see Brian Lemke in his traditional all black paint scheme. We usually see him drive most weeks in and out. Let's go on board here with Lemke, see if we can see what kind of conditions there are running. So the track looks relatively dry, as I mentioned. There's just a little bit of spray that was coming up off the back of Xulu's car. So I suspect most of our drivers are going to be out there on slicks. Doesn't really look like a rain tire condition. If they are on rain tires, they're definitely going to be losing a ton of time in a straight line. You see Corey Mitchell, otherwise known as Mitchell Motorsports, aka Murder Motorsports. Corey not having the best of seasons so far. Still trying to get to grips with the new car here, the Ferrari 296 new car for this season. Corey currently sitting in 9th place, tail end of our drivers who've put in laps. Looks like we've got about 20 drivers in session so far for this one. We'll see if all of our drivers put in a time and make it up to the grid. Kelly Greeno, a driver who's had a little bit of an up and down season, got himself in the top 5 in points though. Looking to improve on that. Kelly with a couple great races and then another race he'd like to throw away. Our drivers do get a number of drops. 12 race season, they are allowed to drop their 4 worst performances, and their top 8 results will factor into where they stand in the championship standings. Kelly's going to come around to finish up this lap. See him having to gather up the back end of that Ferrari out of the final corner and across the line. See if Kelly's able to improve that time by 2:25.59 for Kelly. He's going to move him up, improve his spot a little bit, but still sitting in 8th overall. John Cooper, quick lap by Coop there, going to put him up top of the standings, 2:21.85. So our driver's starting to dip down into the low 220s. Conditions starting to improve out there. Coop with a quick lap. Currently 7/10 quicker than second place Tony Phillips. So nice showing by Jonathan Cooper right now. We'll see if he's able to improve further on. So drivers starting to run out of time. The problem with the laps being as lengthy as they are here, only 10 minutes of qualifying. They could put in up to 4 laps if they had the time to do it. But fortunately for our drivers in the conditions, they're not going to be able to get those 4 laps in, potentially 3, but that's if they were really hustling. But right now, Coop leading the way. DJ Alessandrini currently in second spot. We haven't seen DJ in this season at all in the Ferrari Challenge, so we'll have to see how he does as on board here with Tony Phillips. Look, Tony had a little bit of an incident there, had to gather the car up, get himself collected up. Brian Zinn, one of our championship leaders right now on the pro side, currently sitting in 3rd in the points, and right now sitting in 10th in qualifying. With that lap there, he's going to cross the line and put himself up top of the standings. So nice lap there by Brian Zinn. He's going to pull it off and call it quits, as he's not going to have enough time to go around and complete another lap. So he's going to hope that's going to hold out for now. So jump on board with Mark Miller. I'm used to seeing Mark Miller in an all-black car in seasons past, but this season he's been driving the yellow Ferrari. So we'll see how Lemke does rocking that, or not, Lemke Miller does driving that off-brand color for him, I guess, compared to what we normally see. But right now, doing well for him. He missed a week or two, so a little farther back in the standings than he would like to be, but we'll see how he does as the week or season progresses. Currently got himself in 4th place in qualifying. Let's take a quick look back here at the chief admin, Kent Kruger, the big dog, sitting in 12th place right now in qualifying. As I say that, John Cooper just popped up top. He's going to take top spot away from Zinn. Actually, Zinn going to get bumped all the way down to 5th as Joseph Meyer, Brian Lemke, Mark Miller all come across the line quicker than he did that time by. And they did that just as timing and scoring finishes up. So qualifying is done. We'll take a quick look at the grid order here in a moment. So it was interesting to see a couple of our drivers popping in with quick laps at the very end, the main one being John Cooper, to move himself up into top spot. Joseph Meyer in 2nd, Lemke and Miller are going to make up row 2. Brian Zinn and Sean Teeter are going to start 5th and 6th. 7th and 8th goes to Justin Atchison and Jesse Meager. Aaron Sunday in 9th. DJ Alessandrini going to round out the top 10. Isaac Sulu and Tony Phillips going to make up the 6th row. And the final row on our front page of the grid, Kent Kruger in 13th, Kelly Greenhoe in 14th, Donald Mensing and Uwe Hale in 15th and 16th, Corey Mitchell and Stan Hammond starting 17th and 18th, TC Watkins in 19th, Michael Cummins in 20th, Christopher Diaz and Derek Tyndall 21st and 22nd, Rob Fellon and Sheldon Rosenbaum going to round out the field. So interesting to see 24 drivers in the session. We'll see if they all join up and grid up, but right now we're just waiting for our drivers to hit the grid, and then we'll be getting ready to go. So we see a few drivers to go, and then we'll be getting underway. This will be our usual 40-minute race. Our drivers will need to pop in to get some fuel at some point in time. They won't need tires, just a quick little splash of fuel to get them to the end is all they're going to need, and then they'll be back out on track. I suppose they could take some tires if they want, but the amount of fuel that they need is going to be less than what it would take to change the tires as far as time goes in the pit stall, so it's not advantageous for them to do that. Just a little splash is all they need. There we go. We're pulling away behind the pace car. Joseph Meyer and Jonathan Cooper, our front row, going to lead them around. Looks like 23 of our 24 drivers in session have gridded up. Sheldon Rosenbaum did not make the grid, so we will see him next week, potentially. We'll see. So on board here with Mark Miller, just outside of Brian Lemke. Kelly Greenhoe back in the field. Donald Mensing. Actually, I think we need to take a look at Donald Mensing's paint job as he's Got a paint scheme on there from... Oh, where did we go here? We lost Donald. There we go. Donald Mensing. Paint scheme on there from a guy who paints all my cars for me. Colin McKenzie of Lunatic Racing. He's got Colin's feature paint that he put on Trading Paints for this car as soon as it came out with the camel toe paint scheme. So props to Donald Mensing, representing Team Lunatic out here with his livery. Here in discussion on the radio, the drivers aren't seeing any miss, so I suspect that most of our drivers should have slicks on. See here if we can pop up quickly what tire compound they're driving. It's like all of our drivers on dry tires, potentially Corey Mitchell on rain tires. So we'll have to see if that checks out a little later as the race goes on. But pace car is off. We're waiting for a green flag and then we'll be going. There we go. Green flag waving and off we go to start round number 4 of season 24 for Apex's Fixed Ferrari Challenge. Jonathan Cooper going to lead them into turn 1. They try and hold off Joseph Maurer and Brian Lemke on the outside. Coop a little slow getting out of turn 1. That's going to allow Joseph Maurer to get around the outside as they head up into Eau Rouge for the first time. Coop trying to fight back on the inside, but Joseph going to hold that lead position as they head up the Kemmel Straight. A little further back the field, looks like all of our drivers so far getting through Eau Rouge and Radian pretty clean the first time by, so well done by all these drivers. We got a little 3-car battle here further back in the pack. Kent Kruger fighting with Stan Hammonds and Michael Cummings. So it looks like Hammonds going up the inside of Uwe Hale. It's going to move him up a couple spots, up 4 spots early on for Hammonds. I believe Corey Mitchell might have been off track. No, Corey lost a couple spots so far. I believe if he is running the rain tires, he's definitely going to feel it in the top speed sections of the track. So his heavy rain tires are going to be a major hindrance to him. But back up front, Joseph Maurer and Jonathan Cooper already opening up a bit of a gap over Brian Zinn. They've got almost 1 second right now over Zinn as these top 2 cars are breaking away early on. Let's go on board with Jonathan Cooper as he's trying to chase down Joseph Maurer up ahead. Joseph popped around Jonathan Cooper into turn, or out of turn 1. See if Coop kind of stays here. Could be a bit of a strategy here by Jonathan Cooper, letting Joseph Maurer get around him and then just follow along in Maurer's trail. Conserve a little bit of fuel. You can save more fuel following the driver around than you can leading the pack. So as I mentioned, they will have to make a pit stop at some point in time. So this could be a strong strategy play by Jonathan Cooper right now. No need to push the pace. They've already opened up 1 second over Zinn in third place as we see DJ Alessandrini making a move around Brian Lemke. That's going to move him up 6 spots into 4th place. We saw Alessandrini, a latecomer into the session, only really put in 1 qualifying lap, had him up in 3rd place until the last 30 seconds or so of qualifying, where a number of drivers, Cooper, Maher, Lemke, all managed to pip away Brian Zinn and DJ Alessandrini up top of the standings. But right now he's got Brian Zinn in his sights up ahead as we go on board here with Alessandrini. See the blue Ferrari of Zinn just up ahead, up through Eau Rouge they go. Oh, see a little bit of spray still kicking up. The wipers kick on for Alessandrini as they come through there, but Zinn's going to make the move around Jonathan Cooper, as I believe Cooper might have got a little bit of a slowdown heading up Eau Rouge. He's going to go go right to try and bleed that off, trying to defend against Alessandrini up the inside. A little extra usage of the curbs there than Coop would want to have. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. Alessandrini putting a ton of pressure on the back of Cooper now. Let's take a look back here from Jonathan Cooper's rear wing. See Alessandrini trying to find a way around Cooper. Cooper's trying to make that car as wide as he possibly can. Right now doing a good job. The battle of the tail of the tape here is going to be Alessandrini with a 7.4 I rating versus Jonathan Cooper 1.859 I rating. By rights, Alessandrini should eventually make his way around Jonathan Cooper, but Coop's going to try and make that as difficult as he possibly can as he's now clutching back up to Brian Zinn up ahead. Have a look back here at Zin. You can see Coop and Alessandrini lurking in behind. Cooper going to use up a little more curb than he wanted there. That's going to cost him a ton of time. Alessandrini going to get a nice run out of the corner as they head towards Blanchimont, the highest speed corner on the track. I haven't taken the Ferrari 296 around Spa here from what I remember, but it should be pretty much flat out, maybe a slight lift. In a GT3 car, it's flat out through there. Not quite the aero in these challenge cars as they have in the GT3 machinery. So it's probably a little bit of a lift, especially in these conditions where it's not completely dry out there. They're still battling with a tiny bit of moisture. So we'll see how that boils down. So we hop back here between Aaron Sunday in the Our House No Drama paint scheme. Usually one of my favorite paint schemes week in, week out. He's trying to catch up to Jesse Meager, but Kelly Greenhoe coming up quick behind him. Greenhoe already up 3 spots in that camo blue, white, and gray Ferrari. He's trying to chase down Aaron Sunday. Looks like something just happened here with Rob Fellon. Let's take a look here and see what happened to him. A little further back in the pack, he's got Corey Mitchell just ahead of him. Oh! Mitchell loses the back end and he's going to tag Fellon, and into the wall he goes. It was unfortunate for those two drivers. Oz Xulu got himself into some trouble as well. Xulu in the yellow Ferrari coming up behind Stan Hammonds. Into the final corner. Oh, looks like he just tapped the back end of, I believe that was Rob Fellon. And he's going to, fortunately for him, lose the back end, spin around, keeps it off the wall though. He'll be able to get himself back going. As we hop on here with Sean Teeter, he's got Mark Miller lurking in behind him. Miller would love to take that spot away. Teeter, one of our only, actually I think he is the only driver potentially right now that's still running in the position he qualified in. So Teeter qualified in 6th and currently running in 6th. So everybody else has either moved up positions or lost positions. So well done by Sean. Nothing to be said for consistency there. But he's got a ton of pressure from Mark Miller. We've got a change up top as Brian Zinn's got himself around Joseph Marr. Let's take a quick look and see how he made that happen. Looks like they're running up the Kemmel straight here. Marr going defensive on the right side. But unfortunately for him, looks like Zinn getting a much better run on the outside. He's going to have that pass complete as they head into the corner at the end of the top of the Kemmel straight. So well done by both drivers, giving each other plenty of space there to make that through. And now they'll battle on. Marr not ready to let Zinn get away with this one. Going to try and hold tight on them, but DJ Alessandrini as well. He's gotten around Jonathan Cooper, got himself up into P3. He's going to set his sights now on Joseph Marr and Brian Zinn up ahead, really closing in on the back of Joseph Marr into turn 1. So let's see what kind of run he gets up Eau Rouge and down the Kemmel straight. Let's go on board here with Alessandrini. Oh, Marr going wide, almost potentially slowdown territory there. Alessandrini had to go far right, evasive, potentially slow down for both of those drivers. Definitely one for Alessandrini. We see him bleeding it off on the right-hand side. Not sure if Joseph Marr got one too as well. He would have been very close to getting one there. So that's going to drop Alessandrini back a little bit. That's going to bunch up our 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th car as Lemke now lurking at the back of this pack. Spot back here to Stan Hammonds. See the Stanimal has got himself up 7 spots. Didn't put in a qualifying lap. Showed up, punched his card, checked in late this one. He's got Aaron Sunday and Jesse Meager battling up ahead of him. Sunday going to go wide. That's going to allow Stan Hammonds to close right up on his tailpipe. See kind of pressure Hammonds can put on Sunday up ahead now. Just go on board here with Hammonds as they head into Puhan. Aaron Sunday holding a tight line up ahead, not giving Stan Hammonds any room to stick the nose up the inside. Hammonds going to have to try and find another way around here. Keeping the pressure on is the best thing he can do at this point in time. As those two cars up ahead battling, so they're going to compromise their lines potentially. Aaron Sunday trying to find a way around Jesse Meager. Jesse Meager trying to keep those two cars in behind him. Looks like Kelly Greenhoe getting towed up as well on behind Stan Hammonds. Is Kelly now down 1 spot from where he was last time we checked in on him. I believe that might have been when Stan got to move around him. Let's see how it worked out. Looks like Kelly went defensive out of the last corner into turn 1. Hammond's getting a much better run out of turn 19, and that's going to give him that spot. It's going to drop Kelly Greenhoe down into 12th. Check back in our leaders. Brian's in, starting to open up a 1.2 second gap now over Joseph Marr. Marr having to deal with Allison Drini, Cooper, and Lemke in behind. Doing more focusing on his mirrors and what's happening in his mirrors behind him than he can looking out the windshield. He's trying to hold on to this spot the best he can. We saw what happened last time up Eau Rouge, where Maher went deep off to the left. Allison Drini had to go right to avoid him. This time Allison Drini is right there getting the run. Another slowdown for Allison Drini. It's 2 laps in a row having to serve a slowdown. So interesting stuff. We'll see if next time by potentially he doesn't get a slowdown. But let's go back here, check in on that battle between Hammonds, Sunday, and Meager. Looks like Sunday and Meager able to open up a little bit over Hammonds. Hammonds going off into the kitty litter. Almost loses the back end. Has to gather it up. It's going to cost him to go a little wide through No Name's corner. Oh, Jesse Meager and Aaron Sunday battling tight up ahead. Aaron Sunday thought about sticking the nose up in the inside there. Didn't quite have an opportunity to make that move. Meager was able to defend. Into Puhan they go. Jesse Meager holding a tight line up on the apex the best he can. Aaron Sunday trying to follow him through too as well. Had a little bit of a lift there through the corner. Sure if the car got a little loose. Kelly Greenhoe going wide in the background. So that battle is kind of stabilized for now. Let's get a little further back here as we get TC Watkins chasing down Kelly Greenhoe now. Watkins up 6 spots from where he qualified. Another one of our cars showed up late to qualifying. Just put in a last minute lap, but he's chasing down Kelly Greenhoe. Greenhoe and Watkins working their way up to Hammonds, Meager, and Sunday up ahead. We could have a 5-car battle here shaping up very quickly for 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th positions. Check back on this battle between Joseph Marr and DG Allison Drini. Allison Drini at this point in time still unable to find a way around Joseph Marr. As they head into turn 1, we'll see if maybe this is the time that DG Allison Drini gets through Eau Rouge without getting a slowdown. Joseph Marr up ahead, would love to see him get another slowdown, that's no doubt. So we look back here from Joseph Marr, we'll see what kind of lines these 2 drivers take through here. Both of them flirting with the curbing on the left side. Looks like neither one got a slowdown this time through that section, so Allison Drini will have full draft heading up the straight. Unfortunately for him, not enough overrun to make the move through the top of the hill, but a little further back there, we've got John Cooper right on the back of Brian Lemke. Coop putting a ton of pressure on Lemke now, looking up the inside, trying to force a mistake from Lemke to make that move. Alternate line there by Coop, showing the front nose on Lemke. Lemke not biting at this point in time. He's holding strong on his line. Looks like Corey Mitchell, something might have happened to Corey Mitchell. Let's pop back here and see for him. Already missing the front end of his car after that incident with Rob Fellon early on. Looks like Mitchell going to pull it in and get that front end fixed up. It's probably a wise choice for Corey. Our drivers do get one. You can call it spare car, quick repair, whatever you want to call it. Either way, they can pop into the pits, get those repairs done, and get back out on the track. And looks like that's exactly what Corey Mitchell is going to do here this evening. DG Allison Drini right on the tailpipe of Joseph Marino. Only a matter of time here before Allison Drini finally finds a way around Marr. Hats off to Marr, though, defending like a lion the best he can. Try and hold back that 7.5K iRating driver. Behind him, Joseph Marr, 1.8K rating himself. This battle carries on as we're going to come around to finish up lap number 6. Already 14 minutes into this race. While they continue to battle, that's allowing Brian Zinn to open up a hell of a gap up front He's now got it to 1.75 seconds over Joseph Mara. Mara getting a little squirrely out of turn 1. Alessandrini as well too. You saw him get back into the throttle, back into the car, wiggle a little bit. This might be the closest we've seen Alessandrini heading into Eau Rouge. Could this be the time he makes the pass? Down the kennels, I guess up the Kemmel Straight, you would say, as they're going uphill. Up the Kemmel Straight they go. Brian Zinn lurking up in the distance just ahead of them. Lemke and Cooper not too far back behind, and then behind them, Mark Miller and Sean Teeter. Oh, TJ Alestrini completely misses the brake marker. He's going to run off track. That's going to definitely gain him a slowdown for that. Brian Lemke and Cooper, we're going to be catching up to the back of him now. So things getting interesting. Alessandrini pushing up top to try and make that move. Hasn't been able to find a way around Joseph Mara at this point in time. But let's take a look here now at the battle between Sean Teeter and Mark Miller. Miller holding into 6th place. Teeter now down 1 spot from where he qualified. Last we checked on him, he was holding steady in 6th spot. Mark Miller's got around him though to move Teeter down 1 spot. Justin Atchison not too far back of these two. Atchison in the 175 Ferrari. Currently down 1 spot from where he started. So 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th cars all down spots from where they started. Our biggest mover right now, Stan Hammonds, up 8 positions from where he qualified. He's got himself around Jesse Meager and Aaron Sunday, Aaron Sunday just ahead of him. He's gotten around Jesse Meager. So see if we can take a look here while we have a moment and see exactly how Stan Hammonds got around Jesse Meager, as I think something might have happened to Meager. Let's see here how it all played out. Oh, Hammonds just got himself positioned on the inside. That's going to compromise Meager's line into that corner. Then Hammond's able to get back into the throttle a little quicker than Meager was. Meager fought back though, tried to not give up that position, so hats off to him. Fortunately for him now, he has TC Watkins, Kelly Greenhoe, and Michael Cummins not too far behind him. TC Watkins up 7 spots from where he qualified to as well. So he's chasing down Meager up ahead. Let's go on board here with TC Watkins, see what he sees out of his windshield. That gap sitting at about half a second between Meager and Watkins. Hammond's quickly running away from Meager. He's opened up 1.4 seconds now over Meager. See Meager taking a defensive line up the Kemmel Straight. He's going to try and force Watkins around the outside if he's going to make that move. Oh, pinches him off to the left. Watkins, though, still able to get later onto the brakes. Takes the inside line. Let's give Meager the inside line in the next corner, though. I think he's going to be able to hold on to that position. Watkins going to go for the crossover. Can he make it stick on the inside? Looks like he's going to... Oh, a little bit of touch there. Both drivers continue on. Meager doing well defending on the outside, but eventually I think he's going to have to give up the ghost here as Watkins now finishes off that move. Took about 3 corners to do it. He's now got himself up into 11th place. We'll see if he's able to chase down Stan Hammonds up ahead, as Michael Cummings has gotten around Kelly Greenhoe too as well. Greenhoe once up 4 positions from where he qualified. He's now fallen back to 14th, exactly where he started. So we'll see if Kelly, usually one of our drivers that utilizes the undercut, one of our first drivers usually in for his pit service each time, trying to undercut the drivers ahead of him. We'll see if Kelly plays that strategy again this week or not. But nice paint job there from Michael Cummings. I'm sure Stan Hammonds, our resident Georgian, who always flying the American colors, is going to get a hoot out of that one later when he watches the broadcast back. But let's pop up front here, see if DJ Alessandrini has been able to close in on Joseph Mara. Right now, that gap holding 1.5 seconds. We saw Alessandrini had to bail at the top of the Kemmel Straight, completely missed the brake marker as he was trying to make a move around Joseph Mara, so still ways back. See if he's able to catch up in a little bit here. But Kent Kruger, our chief admin, something's happened to the big dog. Let's see here. Head into Puhan. Oh, he's just going to lose the back end, but nice. Oh, he almost saved it. I thought he was going to save that power drift. He's going to keep it off the wall, though, but nice save there by Kent. Could have went a whole lot worse for him. Oh no, Jesse Meager. Let's see what happened to him. Meager was having a promising day. Watkins just got around him not long ago. Gets up on the curb into the final corner. Just too heavy onto the throttle to the final corner. That's going to allow Cummings and Greenhoe to get around him. Oh, he's going to get turned around. Almost comes out in front of Chris Diaz and Tony Phillips. They managed to get around him. Diaz, our current mid-pack Larry, aka our AM driver, championship leader at this point in time. Diaz up 7 spots from where he qualified. Or started, I guess. I don't believe he put in a time. So nice showing right now for him. He's got Tony Phillips lurking in behind him. Tony down 3 spots from where he qualified, so he'd love to get around or back around. Christopher Diaz up ahead. A couple of our drivers vying for the championship in the mid-pack Larry side of things as we're nearing the halfway mark of this race. The only drivers we've had in for service right now are drivers who've had to come in to get a little bit of repairs done. So we're expecting, as we get to the halfway mark, we're expecting our drivers to start to come in anytime to get some service, but nobody taking yet. Brian Lemke and Jonathan Cooper. This battle has renewed again. Coop's caught back up to the back bumper of Lemke. Now only 1/10 separating those two drivers as Coop trying to find a way around through Blanchimont. Lemke going a little wide, saw a little tap of the brakes there for him. Looks like Coop had to back out of the throttle, didn't want to get gathered up in something just in case Lemke lost the back end and he had to avoid him. It's unfortunate for Coop. That could have been a potential overtake opportunity for him. But it worked out well for Lemke in the end, able to hold on to that position. Unfortunately for Cooper, he's going to have to try and get tight here up the back of Lemke as they're heading out of turn 1. Not a strong exit for Coop there as Lemke's going to open up that gap to about 5/10. See if Coop's able to chase him back down. TC Watkins now caught up to the back of Aaron Sunday as Hammond's gotten around Sunday. Sunday now going to have to try and defend on TC Watkins, who's up 8 positions from where he started. Strong showing for him. 1 spot out of the top 10 right now in 11th place. I would get him +9 positions if he can take that position away from Aaron Sunday. Sunday down 1 spot from where he qualified, so more or less in about where he started, where you would expect him to be. That's based on qualifying results. Let's go a little farther back in the field here as we've got Derek Tyndall just ahead of Uwe Hale. Tyndall in the white Turn Racing Monster Energy Zero Sugar. It's a heck of a drink there. I generally prefer Rockstar myself. The Zero Sugar Rockstar, but when they're not available, I will grab the White Monster. So that's off to Derek Tyndall rocking the Monster paint theme. He's got Uwe Hale in behind him in that chrome green and blue paint scheme Ferrari. That thing is bright. None of our drivers can say they gotten into incident with Uwe Hale and didn't see that car. Looks like that battle is going to fizzle out a little bit, but DJ Alessandrini has caught back up to Joseph Maher up ahead, who's also caught up to Brian Zinn. Zinn lost a ton of time here as he's fallen back. He lost about a second of his gap as this trio now into the final corner. This is going to wrap up lap 10 across the line to start lap 11 go. We've got a race for top spot now in this race. Let's see what kind of pressure that Joseph Maher and DJ Alessandrini could put on Brian Zinn now that they've caught up to him. Out of the final corner they go. Zinn getting a much better exit there than Joseph Maher. It's like Maher a little slower on the exit there. He's going to compromise his run. Alessandrini had to kind of wait to get into the throttle there. Didn't want to get into the back of Maher. Up the straight they go. It's like none of our drivers really going to get enough of a run here to try and potentially make a move, as we've got Michael Cummings and Jesse Meager, first of our drivers, in for pit stops. See Cummings into his stall. Looks like there goes Jesse Meager exiting out. Back up top, Zinn feeling a ton of pressure now from Meager and Alessandrini. Be interesting to see him looking and timing and scoring here. I'm not seeing any off tracks flagged for Zin, so potentially just bleeding a little bit of time here. Let's take a quick look here again at tire compounds. Let's see if Corey Mitchell changed to dry tires when he went in for his stop. It looks like he did. All of our drivers are on dry tires. As you can see, there's no more mist kicking up from the back of the car, so the track is dry. Zin feeling the pressure. You see him using up more and more of those curbs versus Maher and Alessandrini able to utilize the draft in behind. They don't have to push the track widths as much as they can to stay ahead, as they're firmly within the toe of Zin. So we have a look here on board with Alessandrini, what he's looking at up ahead. Joseph Maher in the black Ferrari, Brian Zin in the blue through Blanchimont. See a little tap of the brakes for drivers through there. No dive up the inside from any of our drivers. Into the final corner they go. Oh, Alessandrini going to go for the undercut coming into the pits. Probably a wise choice right now on his part. We'll have to see where he cycles through on this one, but Alessandrini feeling like he had the quicker pace out of those three cars. Going to pop in, see if he can undercut them. Zin going to lead Maher around to start lap 12. Up Eau Rouge they go. Joseph Maher falling a little bit back. That gap now almost 4/10, but Joseph Maher in the draft, he'll be able to close that up the Kemmel Straight. See how close he gets. Not going to be close enough to make a move here. Zin going to hold on to that position. Looks like the draft in the Ferrari Challenge cars isn't all that strong. Our driver's getting enough... pick up a couple tenths up the Kemmel Straight, but not enough to make a move really at the top of the straight. TC Watkins now right on the back of Aaron Sunday, putting a whole lot of pressure on him. Oh, he's going to bobble into the corner. That's going to allow Aaron Sunday to open up that gap now. That's exactly what Aaron Sunday wanted to see. It's going to allow him a little bit of breathing space. DJ Alessandrini now back on track in 9th place, our highest place driver who has come in and pit. So we'll have to keep an eye on Zin and Maher, see when they come through, see what kind of lap time they have. Now if they've been out there, a little bit extra laps on the tires, running on low fuel. Alessandrini now can just push to the end. He knows he has enough fuel. His pit stop time was a 36.1, so we'll keep that in mind when we see Maher and Zin come in for service. There's those two drivers heading into Blanchimont now, so we'll see if they answer back. Alessandrini was the first one to fire the shot across the bow. We'll see what kind of answer that Zin and Maher have here in store. Joseph Maher hitting a little bit of the wipers there, so maybe some mist still kicking up from the back end of these tires that we can't quite see on the broadcast screen. But no, Zin going to go around another time. Joseph Maher is going to come in though. So that's going to leave Brian Zin, one of our last cars on track. So we'll keep an eye on where Joseph Maher comes back out. Alessandrini right now, he's heading into the final set of corners as it is right now. So he might take that position away from Joseph Maher. As we see Maher just getting to his pit stall here now. Alessandrini going across the line. Keep in mind, Joseph Maher is in the pits on the front straight. There he is. He's coming out now. Alessandrini going to get around him. He's going to put Alessandrini into second place at this point in time, showing 5th in timing and scoring. And once the rest of the drivers cycle through, he'll be in at least second place. We'll see if he's able to move ahead of Brian Zin. Maher going to come back out on track right in front of TC Watkins. We haven't seen a pit stop from Watkins yet. So that is a battle technically on track for position, but Watkins still owes us a pit stop at some point in time. Sean Teeter and Jonathan Cooper battling it out. Both of these cars have come in for pit cycles too as well. So Cooper, a little bit of a slower stop for Coop, 39.5 to Teeter's 37.2. So what's that done? That's what has that done is it's allowed Sean Teeter to close up on the back of Coop. So Coop started up on pole for this one. It's fallen all the way back to 9th place right now. We'll see if he's able to hold off a charge from Sean Teeter with Kelly Greenhole lurking in the background too as well. Let's check back in with our leaders in. See if he comes in to service his vehicle. He's only got about 10 minutes left to go in this one. He's got to be at the end of the fuel load at this point in time. Still looking for pit stops from Zinn, Miller, Atchison, Sunday, Watkins, Mensing, Kruger, and Tyndall. No, Zinn going to go around another lap, so he's going to push the fuel load as far as he possibly can. Mark Miller going to come in for his service. See if Justin Atchison as well. He's coming in. Oh, that's going to be an unsafe entry for Justin Atchison. He crossed over the white line. It's unfortunate for him. He had a nice race shaping up, but that's going to be a stop and hold. I think it's potentially a 40-second penalty or 30-second penalty. We'll have to wait and see. But Jesse Meager moving around. Tony Phillips. That's going to move him up into 13th place. It's going to drop Phillips back into 14th place. Oh, something happened to Jonathan Cooper. Oh, he's going to lose it in the back last corner into the wall. Oh, he's going to lose his back wing too as well. So Coop's race going from bad to even worse. It's unfortunate for our pole sitter, Jonathan Cooper there, but that's going to allow Stan Hammonds to get by him. That's going to put him to +9 positions on the day. So let's take a look. DJ Alessandrini currently 22.6 seconds back of Brian Zinn. We know pit stop time, cone to cone time is about 36.1 seconds at this point in time. So if that gap holds out, DJ Alessandrini should be able to take top spot once Zinn does come in for service. Now, we'll just have to wait and see how that works out. Oh, as we see, Tony Phillips and Michael Cummings both going off. A little bit of fixation on the car ahead of you. Phillips went off left. Cummings following him through. Cummings up 9 spots right now from where he starts. A nice showing for him. Our leader Brian Zinn into the last few corners. So we've got 8 minutes to go in this one. That's it. That's the end of the fuel load for Zinn. So now we go back to DJ Alessandrini. See Alessandrini exiting out of Blanchimont now. Zinn not to his pit stall yet. Still heading down pit road. Alessandrini into the final couple corners. Zinn's now in his stall. Should be exiting his stall in about 3 seconds. Zinn exiting now. There he is. Alessandrini has gotten around him. DJ Alessandrini will take top spot away from Brian Zinn. Zinn back on track. He's going to get back ahead of Joseph Marr. So hold on to second place, but DJ Alessandrini going to hold on to top spot. Alessandrini's 36.13 pit time to Zinn's 37.82. Got himself up top. Alessandrini, the quickest pit stop of the session. So we'll have to see and watch. Make sure he has enough fuel on board. But right now, he is leading the way. As our final 2 cars, Tony Phillips and Donald Mensing, have come in for their service. That means all of our drivers have come in for their service, and now it's a battle to the end with about 7.5 minutes to go. Unfortunately, that pit cycle has all but eliminated any of our battles we have on track. Joseph Marr firmly in 3rd place. Mark Miller got himself up and down day. He's got himself back to 4th place where he qualified. Brian Lemke currently in 5th spot, down 2 spots from where he qualified, but our hard charger of the day, this man right here, the Sky Lounge Motorsports machine of Stan Hammonds. plus 11 spots on the day. That's one more than both TC Atkins and Michael Watkins. So our 7th place, 9th place, and 10th place drivers making some big moves on the day right now, as we'll pop up there the overall positions gained at this point in time. So at this point in time, hats off to those drivers. Well done. Excellent stuff. Kelly Greenhoe dropping a tire into the dirt. That's going to allow Christopher Diaz to catch up to him. Diaz now under a second back of Greenhoe. Christopher Diaz, nice run as well for him, up 9 spots from where he started into 12th place. Kelly Greenhoe up 3 spots just ahead of him. Looks like Diaz a little quicker pace here than Greenhoe, cutting those tighter lines. Kelly Greenhoe went a little wide through that section there. That's going to allow Diaz to close up even more. They got it down to under 4/10 now between these two cars. Closest battle on track. It's actually our only battle. It's under 2 seconds. So we'll stick with this one for now. Let's take a look back here from Kelly Greenhoe, get an idea of what he's seeing in his mirrors. Diaz lurking in the background. You hear that little breathe of the throttle through Blanchiment by Greenhoe, trying to hold off Christopher Diaz the best he can. Out of turn 18 and into turn 19 they go. And across the line, that's going to finish up lap 16 for them. Greenhoe doing everything he can to hold off the charge from Chris Diaz. See Diaz really closing in through turn 1, but Greenhoe getting a much better exit out of there. It's exactly what Kelly Greenhoe needed to do. As they're going to head up Eau Rouge, and we're going to see them right there. See the cars flying up in the air, up over the curb, using every last ounce of horsepower they got in those things. Kelly going defensive, moving over to the right side. Diaz trying to find a way to get some draft to close that gap down a little bit. Kelly Greenhoe going to hold on to that position though. Check in on our leader, DJ Alessadrini. Now a comfortable 5-second gap over Brian Zinn. Zinn sitting another 1.9 seconds ahead of Joseph Marr. So top 3 very comfortable in their positions right now. Oh no, something happened to Stan Hammonds. He just lost a bunch of time. See if we can take a look and find out what happened there. As TC Watkins got around Hammonds. Oh, looks like Hammond still owed us a pit stop. He was our one driver that still owed us a pit stop. Oh, my apologies. I'm going to have to take his award for our biggest mover and shaker away, as he's only 8 spots gained on the day now. Michael Cummings and TC Watkins. Now both drivers are up 11 spots, and they're both just ahead of Stan Hammonds. So still plenty of time to go in this one for Hammonds. See if he can make a move. 2 more laps. He's within striking distance of Cummings and Watkins up ahead. See TC Watkins going to lead them around. Across the line to finish up lap 17. It's going to kick off lap 18 for our drivers. Sorry, let's get finish up lap 16 for them. Kick off lap 17. 2 laps to go for this battle. Pop back quickly to Greenhoe and Diaz. Greenhoe still leading the way. Diaz has been unable to close those final couple tenths he's needed. Take away that position from Kelly Greenhoe. Greenhoe finding a way to get out of the corners a little quicker than Diaz. Diaz trying to dive late into the corners, be late on the brakes as much as he possibly can. Kelly Greenhoe using the slow in, fast out method, where Diaz is trying to go fast in, and unfortunately that translates into slow out. Kelly Greenhoe, a little bit of a swerve there on the Camel Straight, trying to break the draft of Diaz in behind. Diaz not enough draft to get up and potentially make a move on Greenhoe. He's got to try and find another way around as we head back to the battle between Watkins, Cummings, and Stan Hammonds. Watkins leading the way, holding strong. Cummings and Hammonds both dropping a tire off track, kicking up a little bit of dirt. Hammonds closing that gap now on Cummings up ahead, and that gap now only just over 5/10 now, half a second between them. Fortunately, the clock starting to be a enemy for Hammonds here to get himself back a little higher in the top 10. Both drivers ahead of Hammonds, holding a quicker fast lap of the race. 2:16.4 for Watkins, 2:16 flat for Cummings, 2:17.1 for Hammonds. So Hammonds going to need to utilize the draft at this point in time, try and get away around Watkins. As these three drivers heading into turn 18 and 19 for the second to last time. Hammonds going late on the brakes, trying to close in that gap between he and Watkins, and Cummings up ahead. It is Barney waving the white flag. Last time around for these drivers. This is it. See if Hammonds has anything to muster to try and get around Michael Cummings. He's closed that gap out of turn 1. Cummings get a little better exit, opening up a 10th or so over Hammonds, but Hammonds going to be in the draft as they head up Eau Rouge. This is it. Let's see if Hammonds can make the move. We go on board, pushing track limits as far as he can on the inside without getting a slowdown. And then look at, he's going to get enough of a draft though to potentially make a move into turn 5. Hammonds unable to close that gap. Cummings going to hold on to that position. So it's basically your major overtaking opportunity except for turn 18. So I'll see if Hammonds can get close through Blanchimont and make that move. But right now it looks like he's going to have to suffice with P10. As Cummings and Watkins looking strong up ahead to hold on to that position. Although Watkins falling back a little bit, Cummings going to start putting some pressure on him. Try and force him to drive out of his mirrors instead of the windshield. But up ahead, TJ Alessandrini into Blanchimont. Then he has only turn 18 and 19 to go. Oh, a little bit of wiggle through Blanchimont there for Alessandrini. He's going to get it gathered back up though. 18, 19 to go, and then that'll wrap up week 4, season 24 here for Apex Fixed Ferrari. Oh, it says the car's sputtering a little bit across the line. It was. Alessandrini just enough fuel to make it across the line there. Brian Zinn going to bring it home in second place. Joseph Marr going to hold on to third place. Check back in here as Watkins has now closed that gap up on Watkins. Or sorry, Cummins has closed that gap up on Watkins. See if he's able to get close enough to make a move into 18. Really closing that gap up. Watkins potentially out of fuel here. Cummins getting a strong run. He's going to have the inside line. See if he can hold on to it. Watkins going wide around the outside. Across the line they go. It's a drag race. Oh, TC Watkins going to hold on to it. Michael Cummins going to have to settle for 9th place. Stan Hammonds coming home in 10th. Christopher Diaz. Oh no, Kelly Greenholm going to lose it in the second to last corner. Diaz going to get around him. Let's take a quick look here and see what happened. Kelly Greenholm was leading the way. Diaz looks up the inside, trying to get late on the brakes. Oh, they touch, and around goes Greenholm. Let's see if we can get a potential shot here from up in the air. See if we can get a little better idea of what happened. Greenholm in the blue-gray camel carpet. Diaz coming from a long way back, looking up the inside. Ooh, not sure what to make of that one. Potentially a racing incident. I don't know. I guess he was there, technically. Somewhat alongside. He had the front nose at the rear bumper, but we'll have to see what the stewards think of that one. But Donald Mensing across the line. Derek Tyndall, Ozzik Sulu going to be our final driver across the line. And that will round out our race here. We'll take a quick look at the results. There we go. DJ Alessandrini wins this one, 7 seconds up on Brian Zinn in second place. Joseph Marr rounds out the podium. Mark Miller in fourth. Brian Lemke in fifth. Sean Teeter comes home in sixth. Aaron Sunday, nice race for him in seventh. TC Watkins in eighth. Michael Cummings in ninth. Stan Hammonds rounding out the top 10. Kelly Greenholm in 11th. Christopher Diaz in 12th. Jesse Meager comes home in 13th. Atchison in 14th. Hale 15th. Kent Kruger in 16th. Derek Tyndall 17th. Exulu, Mensing, Felon, your 18th, 19th, and 20th place drivers. Rounding out the field, Tony Phillips, Jonathan Cooper, Corey Mitchell. They're on the used car scrap heap. They didn't see the checker flag. And Sheldon Rosenbaum, we didn't see him grid up. So congrats to our winners. We'll just await a couple of drivers to show up into the interview booth here. We'll have a quick chat with them, and we'll do a quick little recap here, I guess, on the week that was the Fixed Ferrari Challenge. So it looks like no drivers in here right now. It looks like Brian's in. Let's bring our second place driver into the booth here. Brian's in. Congrats on the P2. Looks like DJ was able to pip you just through a pit strategy there, but otherwise strong race for you, up 3 spots from where you qualified.
Yeah, not too bad. I thought we were genuinely beating DJ, and it looked like he was just toying with us and fuel saving behind Joseph and myself. So kind of kicking myself. I was had a little bit of a lead, and then I don't know if I just didn't hit the brake pedal the same as I had before or what, but just ran long going into Lake Hume, and had a 1.5 lead down to, I think, half a second at that point. So, but yeah, I knew DJ was going to be a challenge, and then DJ did DJ things in the pits. So P2, I'll take any day.
Okay, because I was wondering what happened there. You had a nice, I want to say you were pushing towards a 2-second gap over Mar and Alessandrini as they were battling for second place, and then all of a sudden, after I came back looking at a couple other battles, you were right there in front of them. So that explains what happened there. But overall, not a bad race for you. Next week, we head to, oh man, I can't remember where it was now. I believe it is, let me have a quick, Shell V-Power. Have you had any time putting any laps there? I've done maybe 3 laps myself, and I'm not a fan of the track.
I tried driving it during week 13, and then I was also playing with the new 360 hertz that they rolled out for Ace Tech bases, and I didn't have force feedback, so I have no laps around there. I basically pulled out of the pits, had no force feedback, pulled over and quit, and never went back.
Well, then you enjoyed about as much as I do, so you have some learning to do this week, I guess. But well done, Zin. We'll let you go. But first, anybody you want to thank while you're in the booth?
Just want to thank the team. I had Don and Derek in the race with me today, which is always nice when we get other guys to turn up. Thank you for putting on the broadcast as always. I look forward to watching them Mondays when I'm at work, and catching up on all the action that I couldn't see out on the track.
Well, appreciate it, Zin. And again, best of luck next week at the new track. Go get your laps in, because you're battling for the championship, so you need to have some strong showings. But best of luck next week, and we'll talk to you then.
Sounds good. See you guys next week.
So that was our second place finisher, Brian Zinn. He looks like he's the only one that's coming in for interviews here this evening. So I guess we got a moment. We'll quickly take a look at the chaos theory in this one. It's an Apex This tradition. We'll quickly go back through the incidents in this one just to make sure we didn't miss any, because our drivers like to roast each other for making mistakes and getting involved in some accidents. So we'll pick up here. We saw what happened to Rob Fellon and Corey Mitchell early on, and then that was the results there for Rob Fellon's front end. Fortunately for him, spare car is available. He's going to go in and use that. Ozik Sulu lost his rear wing earlier on, and unfortunately for him, that's going to take any little bit of downforce that these cars actually have away. And you see what happens when you take downforce away from a car that already doesn't have much downforce. Corey Mitchell as well, we focused on him early on, lost the front end early, with that incident with Rob Felony. He's going to pop in, get his quick repair done. Kent the Big Dog Kruger, our chief admin. Saw Ken with his power drift here, able to save it through Puhan. Almost had the YouTube power drift save there heading through Puhan, but unfortunately lost the back end. Gets it gathered back up, manages to bring it home 17th, all said and done. Just meager into turn 18. Nicely through there. Into turn 19, though, a little overzealous on the throttle. He's going to lose the back end. Right in front of Kelly Greeno. Almost takes out Kelly Greeno. Try and get it spun around right in front of Tony Phillips and Chris Diaz. They have to avoid him. Thankfully, everybody made it through there relatively unscathed. See what happened to Donald Mensing. We didn't catch this one earlier on. I suspect it's going to be another turn 19, losing the back end as we saw a number of drivers happen. He does. Just a little kiss of the wall with the right front. Much more fortunate than what we saw happen to Jonathan Cooper when he had his episode there. Derek Tyndall into turn 18, just ahead of Uwe Hale. Again, another driver that's going to lose the back end through there. Hale has to take avoiding maneuvers. TC Watkins up on the back of Aaron Sunday. It's going to be another drive. Oh, he actually gets more of the curb than anything else. Oh, he almost had it saved. Spins around. Just ahead of Alessandrini. That was after Alessandrini's pit stop. So Watkins gets his machine straightened back out. He carries on. So he potentially could have had that spot from Aaron Sunday, who ended up finishing behind. That little bit of time cost him dearly in the end. But Jonathan Cooper, Coop suffering the worst damage out of all of our cars to bump the wall. Unfortunately for Coop, it looked like a fairly light tap of the wall, but iRacing decides to plunk away his rear wing, and that leads to this here, inevitably trying to head up Eau Rouge with no wing. Oh, and around he goes. Oh, heavy hit into the wall. Medic. We're going to need a medic on that one. Body parts strewn across the track. Coop rolls it back against the wall. Fortunately for him, that ended his day. Toes to the pits. Christopher Diaz and Kelly Greeno on lap 18. We saw this one not long ago. This was their battle heading to the line. Again, I think it's a racing incident. They look like they were somewhat side by side. We'll see how the stewards rule. And that was the final incident here. So hats off to our racers. Again, we'll give them the slow golf clap. No real carnage. Couple little racing incidents here and there. Oh, I didn't even see this one until now. Chris Diaz, gentleman and a scholar there, stops at the line to let Kelly Greenhoe by, taking responsibility for the incident. That's classy racing right there. Well done to all of our racers. We'll see you back next week as we head to the new track, Shell V-Power at the Bend. Till then, I'm Rob Campbell. We'll see you next time.